but there was no way Pittsburgh had it in them to then take over. So, okay, guys, so let's discuss our divisional round predictions. So we've got 4 games this upcoming weekend, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. So game number 1, Saturday, we've got the Los Angeles Rams versus the Green Bay Packers kicking off at 4:35. So, Steven, who do you think is going to win and why?
So I'm especially excited for the matchup between McVay and Lafleur because I know these guys know each other pretty well. So it's going to be a crazy chess match out there from both sides to see how they offensively and defensively play against each other. But I think that the advantage has to be with Green Bay. You guys are playing at home on Lambeau Field. It's probably going to be cold weather out there. The Rams are an indoor team, not used to the cold weather. I know they were in Seattle last week, but who knows? I haven't even checked the weather report. It might snow, and if it snows, that's just even more of an advantage for Green Bay. But I like what the Rams defense did this past weekend against Russell. They really locked him down. It was an ugly game for that Seattle offense. They really had not a lot of breathing room other than, one deep pass, and the rest of it, Russell got shut down. And even when Aaron Donald left, that secondary was still haunting Russell the entire time. And I think the problem is going to be you got to look at this Green Bay team and say these guys are going to be in a different gear. They got that bad man Aaron Rodgers back there about to be the MVP of the league looking like, and he's going to be slinging that ball. And I'm sorry to say, I think that defense can hold up to a certain point, but I just feel like Rodgers and the Packers are going to be those dudes. And the other side of it, if we look back on some tape on me, I swear I've hated on the Packers. The way I'm talking about them right now, you would think like, oh, this guy just jumped on the bandwagon. I'm not on the bandwagon. I'm just saying I'm looking at the game and I'm seeing something different. This defense, I thought they were dogs. They were in the dog days. Like they had nothing on them. They actually finished top 10 this season. And they started to play better over the last 6 games. And you know what? The defense is actually coming out as a strong suit on all levels. I'm talking about secondary, linebacking core, and on the line. These guys are playing serious right now. And I think it's just that championship mentality. They think this could be their season and everything could go well. Other than that, if you guys want to take the Rams, I can understand. But listen to me. You see this right here? That's important when you throw, huh? That helps you guide the ball a bit more than usual. If you don't have this to throw, that's how you get those wobbly balls. I still don't understand how Jared Goff made it out against Seattle. Seattle's offense just played terribly, so it kind of evened everything out. But I'm telling you right now, Green Bay is not going to have that type of slack. And if you think Jared Goff's going to have some type of mystery healing and he's going to be all good, don't believe it. Rams D, I think these guys could be successful and have some game-changing plays. But in the end, I think Rodgers and that defense do what they got to do, and they throw it in the bag and take this one to the NFC Championship.
I think there's going to be question marks with this Green Bay offensive line. David Bakhtiari tears his ACL in practice, probably the best lineman in football right now. And I believe they tried to get Jared Valdir or whatever from Indianapolis, who was technically on the practice squad. He comes over to Green Bay because you're allowed to do that somehow in the playoffs. He has COVID. He's out too. Their O-line in the middle is really good, but on the edges, where is this defense of Brandon Staley going to line up Aaron Donald? And that's the huge question mark for me is, can this offensive line hold up against this really good D-line? Another matchup, you mentioned the coaching. How about Tay Adams, the best receiver in football right now, against maybe the best corner in football in Jalen Ramsey? That's going to be huge because Jalen Ramsey likes to shadow. I've mentioned countless times Jair Alexander doesn't like the shadow. Will Mike Pettin decide to go, okay, we need to move Jair Alexander on Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, whoever it is, or Sean McVay's just going to put his number 3 receiver out there and take away half the field and say, we're not throwing it that way, and we're not going to run the ball that way. Green Bay isn't good at stopping the run. We've said this before. Cam Akers looks like a dog. Like, this is the guy where a lot of teams said, coming out of the draft, well, he didn't have great production in yards per carry, at Florida State. Well, he was with an awful offensive line at Florida State. This is what he can look like with a really good O-line. So right now, I'm going to take the Rams. I'm all behind them right now, and I just think I have so much faith in that defense. I know I'm a little biased being a Vikings guy. I think they're going to create some issues for the Packers. Remember that game against the Buccaneers where the Bucs just steamrolled over the Packers? It's not going to be something like that because this offense for the Rams isn't as good as the Bucs offense, that Bucs offense didn't have to do too much because that defense was so good against this Packers team. I think they'll be able to limit Aaron Rodgers into explosive offense to under 25 points, and I think the Rams might find a way to squeak out a victory here.
Well, I'm going to say you nailed it right on. The X factor, the key for whatever you want to say, it's definitely that matchup. It's Davante Adams versus Jalen Ramsey. Steven, you know me and Nolan are big on the Rams this year, and I'm going to stick with him. I'm going with the Rams as well. I just like that defense. They have a great player at every level of the field, right? They got Aaron Donald. They got Jalen Ramsey. Their linebackers are good. It's just, for me, they're just complete. They're a good team. And Sean McVay, he is great at adjusting. And I saw that early on in Seattle. Now, we all hope that John Wolford is okay. But I saw really good things. They were getting the ball out of his hands quickly. They were using the run game effectively. That's what you can't put a guy into the playoffs and expect him to throw all over the field. I like the way he adjusted. And then Jared Goff comes in and the game plan changes. That's what you have to do. You have to adapt in this game. That's how you win games. And that's how the Rams, I think, are going to win this game. I like Sean McVay better as a head coach. I think he's going to adapt better. And if it is in the snow, it's going to be a little tricky because Green Bay, man, Aaron Rodgers, he loves to play in the snow. For some reason, he gets better in the snow is what it seems like. But I like this Rams defense. And I think Jared Goff, we've seen him do well in the past. We've seen this offense be explosive. Now, of course, they had Brandon Cooks, who was their speed guy over the top. He's not there anymore. But we saw Jared Goff run a very high prolific offense just a couple of years back. If he can just get some of that back, I know his thumb isn't 100%. If he can just make those throws and Cam Akers just leads the way and they get that play action involved, this defense can shut it down for them. I got the Rams in this one.
Something.
Y'all wildin'. I'm telling you right now, y'all wildin'. You might have got me last week with Seattle when Seattle didn't show up. But I'm telling you right now, it's not happening again. It's not happening again.
Think back to the NFC Championship last year. You have an offensive-minded coach in Kyle Shanahan, a team that likes to run the ball, and a team that likes to throw it short, and a defense that has a phenomenal pass rusher and a number one corner. And again, a great defensive-minded defensive coach. It's kind of the same situation. I don't think it's going to be as ugly as that game was for Green Bay. It's so similar that I could see the Rams winning. That's why
give me my cheese head. Give me my cheese head. I'm riding with the Packers, man. I'm riding with the Packers.
Better not show up next week if they lose. I'll tell you that right now. We're going to have a field day, me and Nolan.
Well, you guys made some really, really good points. So we're going to be 2 for 2 on this because I'm with Steven. I think Green Bay is going to win this game. So we've got 2 for Green